My beloved child, before you think about success the way the world defines it, I want you to listen carefully to how I see it, because many hearts grow tired, anxious, and discouraged, not because they lack effort, but because they chase a version of success that was never meant to satisfy them. And I know you have goals, dreams, and a desire to move forward in life, to achieve something meaningful, to feel stable, respected, and fulfilled. And there is nothing wrong with that desire, because I placed ambition within you, but I did not place it there to enslave you or to steal your peace. And I see how often success feels like a moving target to you, something always just a little further away, something that promises happiness once you reach it, yet keeps demanding more of your time, energy, and rest. And I want you to understand from the beginning that true success is not measured by how much you accumulate, how fast you rise, or how loudly the world applauds you, but by whether your heart remains aligned with me as you move forward. And I know the pressure you feel to prove yourself, to show progress, to justify your worth through results, especially when you compare your journey with others who seem ahead, more confident or more accomplished. But comparison distorts truth and breeds restlessness, because you do not see the full cost of what others carry, and you do not see the quiet sacrifices they make behind closed doors. And I never asked you to run someone else's race. I asked you to walk faithfully in the path I prepared for you. And I know you sometimes feel like success will finally silence your doubts, finally give you peace, finally make you feel secure. But peace does not come from arriving at a destination. It comes from walking with me along the way. Because success gained without peace will only leave you empty and exhausted. And I see how easily fear attaches itself to ambition, fear of failure, fear of falling behind, fear of losing what you have worked so hard to build. And those fears can quietly drive your decisions if you are not careful. But I do not want fear to lead your life. I want trust to lead it. And I know there are moments when you wonder whether you are aiming too high or too low, whether you should push harder or wait longer, whether your dreams are selfish or faithful. And I want you to know that I am not opposed to your growth, and I am not threatened by your desire to succeed, but I care deeply about the foundation on which your success is built, because anything built on anxiety, pride, or comparison will eventually crumble, while what is built on obedience, humility, and trust will endure. And I know you sometimes struggle with the tension between striving and resting, feeling guilty when you rest and anxious when you strive. But success in my kingdom is not about endless striving. It is about faithful stewardship, doing what you can with what you have while trusting me with the outcome. And I see how hard you work, even when no one notices, how you carry responsibility quietly, how you push through doubt and fatigue, and none of that is unseen by me, because I value faithfulness far more than visibility. And I know there are days when progress feels slow and discouragement whispers that you are wasting time, but growth that lasts is often slow, and roots grow deeper than branches rise. And I am more concerned with who you are becoming than how fast you are advancing. And I want you to understand that true success will never require you to lose your integrity, your compassion, or your dependence on me, because success that costs you your soul is not success at all. And I am inviting you to redefine success through my eyes, to see it not as something you must chase desperately, but as something that unfolds naturally when you walk closely with me. Because when you seek me first, everything else finds its proper place. And I want you to hold this truth gently as we continue, that your life is not a competition, your worth is not earned through achievement, and your future is safest when it is guided by my wisdom rather than driven by fear. And this is only the beginning of what I want to show you about success, because what I have prepared for you is deeper, steadier, and more fulfilling than anything the world could ever promise.
My beloved child, as we continue speaking about success, I want you to look beyond the surface of what you have been taught to admire and ask yourself what kind of success truly brings rest to your soul. Because I know how easily success becomes tied to identity, how achievements start to define how you see yourself and how you believe others see you. And that weight can quietly become heavy because when success defines you, failure begins to threaten you, and fear begins to follow every step. And I do not want you living under that pressure, because I did not create you to be driven by fear of falling short. I created you to be led by purpose and peace. And I see how often you measure your days by productivity, by outcomes, by what you manage to complete or accomplish. And when those measures fall short, you feel dissatisfied or disappointed with yourself. But listen to me now. Your value does not rise on days of achievement, nor fall on days of struggle, because your value is anchored in my love, not in your results. And I know the world tells you that success requires constant motion, constant effort, constant proving. Yet I teach you that wisdom knows when to move and when to rest, because rest is not laziness, it is trust, and trust honors me more than endless striving. And I know there are moments when you feel torn between ambition and peace, wondering if choosing peace means settling or giving up on your potential. But peace is not the enemy of progress, it is the foundation of sustainable growth. And I want you to understand that the most meaningful success will never require you to abandon your integrity, your compassion, or your relationship with me, because anything that pulls you away from love, honesty, and humility will eventually leave you empty, no matter how impressive it looks from the outside. And I know you sometimes feel pressure to reach certain milestones by a certain age or season, and that pressure can make you anxious, impatient, or harsh with yourself. But my timing is not shaped by comparison or competition. It is shaped by wisdom and love, and I am never late, even when you feel behind. And I want you to stop interpreting delays as denial, because many delays are protection, sparing you from burdens you are not yet ready to carry, or paths that would have drained your spirit. And I know there are moments when you envy those who seem to succeed effortlessly, who appear confident and secure, but appearances rarely tell the full story. And I do not measure success by how effortless something looks. I measure it by whether it is rooted in truth, obedience, and love. And I know you sometimes struggle with the fear of wasting your potential, fearing that if you do not push harder or faster, you will miss your chance. But potential fulfilled without wisdom can become a burden instead of a blessing, and I am more interested in you becoming whole than merely becoming impressive. And I know that part of your struggle with success comes from wanting security, wanting stability, wanting to feel safe in an uncertain world, and that desire is understandable, but no level of achievement can guarantee the security your heart longs for, because true security comes from trusting me, not from controlling outcomes. And I know you sometimes chase success, hoping it will quiet your inner doubts, silence your insecurities, or finally make you feel enough. But success cannot heal what only my love can heal. And when you allow me to heal you first, success will no longer control you, it will serve you. And I know you sometimes fear that choosing my way means sacrificing your dreams, but my way does not destroy dreams, it refines them, aligning them with purpose so they bless you rather than consume you. And I want you to understand that success in my kingdom often looks quieter than the world expects, because it is measured in faithfulness, consistency, and character, not just in visible wins. And the quiet decisions you make to remain honest, patient, and kind matter more than you realize, because character sustains success when circumstances change. And I know there are days when you feel unnoticed, when your efforts seem invisible, and you wonder if it would matter if you stopped trying so hard. But nothing done with a sincere heart is unseen by me, and I reward faithfulness in ways that last, not just in ways that impress. And I know that sometimes you struggle to let go of outcomes, replaying scenarios in your mind, worrying about results. And I want you to learn this truth, that your responsibility is obedience, not outcome, because outcomes belong to me. And when you release outcomes into my hands, you free yourself to work diligently without anxiety. And I know this is not easy, especially when results feel tied to survival, reputation, or future security. But trusting me in these areas is where your faith becomes real and strong. And I want you to begin seeing success not as something you must chase relentlessly, but as something that grows naturally when you align your actions with my wisdom. because when you walk with me, I order your steps, protect your heart, and shape your future in ways that are far more stable than success built on fear or pride. And I want you to carry this truth as we continue, that success guided by me will never demand that you lose yourself, but will slowly shape you into someone who is grounded, peaceful, and fulfilled, regardless of how fast or slow the journey unfolds.
My beloved child, as we go deeper into this understanding of success, I want you to recognize how often success becomes entangled with fear without you even realizing it. Fear of not being enough, fear of falling behind, fear of disappointing others, fear of losing what you have worked so hard to build. And I see how these fears quietly influence your decisions, pushing you to overwork, to overthink, and to carry burdens that were never meant to rest on your shoulders. And I want you to hear me clearly now. Success that is driven by fear will never bring peace, no matter how impressive it looks. Because fear always demands more effort, more proof, more control, and it never allows you to rest. And I did not create you to live in a constant state of tension, always worried about what might be lost or who might judge you. I created you to live anchored in trust, where your work flows from confidence in my care rather than anxiety about outcomes. And I know you sometimes struggle with the idea of surrendering control, especially when success feels closely tied to your future security, your family, or your responsibilities. And surrender can feel risky, like letting go of the only thing keeping everything together. But control has never truly been your protection. I have. And I want you to understand that trusting me does not mean becoming careless or passive. It means working faithfully while releasing the illusion that everything depends on you. And I see how you often carry the pressure of responsibility alone, believing that if you do not push hard enough, everything will fall apart. But listen to me now. I am holding more together than you realize. And when you allow me to carry what you cannot, you make room for peace to guide your decisions instead of panic. And I know you sometimes feel conflicted between ambition and contentment, wondering if contentment means settling or losing your edge. But contentment does not cancel ambition, it purifies it. Because contentment rooted in trust allows you to pursue growth without desperation. And I want you to understand that ambition guided by me becomes purposeful rather than exhausting, steady rather than frantic, and sustainable rather than consuming. And I know there are moments when you question whether you are truly successful, if your progress feels slow, if recognition does not come quickly, or if your work remains unseen. But success, in my eyes, is not measured by speed or applause. It is measured by faithfulness, integrity, and consistency over time. And the seeds you are planting now, even if they feel small, are growing roots that will support future fruit. And I know you sometimes envy those who appear to rise quickly, who seem to achieve effortlessly. But quick growth without depth often leads to collapse. And I am more concerned with building you strong than building you fast, because strength will sustain you when success tests your character. And I know you sometimes wrestle with self-doubt, wondering if you truly have what it takes to succeed in the way you hope. And those doubts can quietly undermine your confidence. But I want you to remember that you are not relying on your ability alone. You are walking with me, and where I guide, I also equip. And I do not call you into paths without providing what you need to walk them, even if that provision comes gradually rather than all at once. And I know there are times when you feel pressure to compromise, to cut corners, to sacrifice your values in order to get ahead, especially when it seems like others are succeeding by doing so. But success that requires you to abandon integrity will always cost you more than it gives you. Because integrity protects your peace, your relationships, and your ability to stand without shame. And I do not want you to trade long-term stability for short-term gain. And I see how hard it can be to remain patient when you feel capable of more, when you sense untapped potential within you. And patience can feel like wasted time,
but patience in my presence refines your motives, aligning your desires with purpose, so that when opportunity comes, it becomes a blessing rather than a burden. And I know you sometimes feel invisible, especially when your work goes unnoticed or your efforts are not acknowledged. And invisibility can make you question whether what you are doing matters. But nothing done with a sincere heart is unseen by me, and I reward faithfulness in ways that are deeper and more lasting than public recognition. And I want you to understand that success is not meant to isolate you, because success pursued at the cost of relationships will eventually feel hollow. And I desire that your success strengthens your love, your generosity, and your humility rather than diminishing them. And I know you sometimes fear that slowing down, resting, or setting boundaries will cause you to lose momentum. But rest does not weaken true success, it preserves it, because a rested heart discerns more clearly and works more wisely. And I want you to learn that saying no to exhaustion is often saying yes to longevity. And I know there are days when your motivation feels inconsistent, when passion fades and discipline feels heavy. But success guided by me is not dependent on constant motivation. It is sustained by commitment. And commitment anchored in trust will carry you even when emotions fluctuate. And I want you to carry this truth with you as we continue, that true success is not about controlling every outcome, impressing every observer, or racing against time. It is about walking faithfully with me, allowing me to shape your ambition, guard your heart, and lead you into a life that is not only productive, but peaceful, grounded, and enduring.
My beloved child, as we continue speaking about success, I want you to look honestly at what your heart is truly longing for beneath all the goals, plans, and ambitions you carry. Because often, what you seek is not success itself, but peace, security, and the assurance that your life has meaning. And I know how easy it is to believe that reaching a certain level of achievement will finally give you that rest. Yet I want you to understand that success without inner peace only magnifies emptiness, while success rooted in trust becomes a source of quiet strength. And I see how you sometimes push yourself beyond healthy limits, believing that rest must be earned and that slowing down means falling behind. But I did not design you to live in constant exhaustion, because a tired soul struggles to hear my voice clearly. And when you are always rushing, you risk letting urgency replace wisdom. And I want you to learn that rest is not an enemy of progress. It is often the place where clarity is restored and direction becomes visible. And I know you sometimes fear that if you step back, someone else will take your place or your opportunity will disappear. But what is meant for you cannot be taken from you, because I am the one who opens and closes doors, and no effort from another can override what I have prepared for you. And I want you to stop measuring success by how busy you are or how much you produce, because busyness can hide emptiness and productivity can mask fear. And I desire that your work flows from purpose rather than pressure. And I know there are moments when you struggle with envy, quietly comparing your progress to others and wondering why their path seems smoother or faster. But comparison will always distort reality, because you see only outcomes, not the sacrifices, struggles, or costs behind them. And I have not asked you to carry someone else's calling. I have asked you to be faithful to your own. And I know you sometimes worry that you are wasting time in preparation while others are already succeeding. But preparation is never wasted when it is guided by me, because it builds wisdom, resilience, and humility that quick success often lacks. And I am more concerned with building you strong than building you fast. And I know you sometimes feel pressure to define success clearly, to label yourself as successful or unsuccessful based on visible results. But life is not divided into such simple categories, because success is not a single moment or milestone. It is a lifelong journey of faithfulness, growth, and alignment with my will.
And I know there are times when setbacks make you question everything, making you wonder if you misheard me or chose wrong. But setbacks are not proof of failure. They are often part of refinement, teaching you what matters most and strengthening you for what lies ahead. And I am not ashamed of your setbacks because I use them to shape your character, deepen your compassion, and clarify your purpose. And I know you sometimes struggle with impatience, especially when you feel capable of more and eager to move forward. But impatience can cause you to grasp prematurely at things that are not yet ready. And I want you to trust that my timing protects you from burdens you are not yet prepared to carry. And I know you sometimes feel torn between pleasing others and staying true to yourself, believing that success requires approval. But success built on pleasing people will always leave you conflicted, while success built on obedience will steady your heart. And I want you to have the courage to choose alignment with me over applause from others, even when that choice feels lonely or misunderstood. And I know you sometimes question whether your efforts matter when progress feels invisible. But faithfulness often works quietly, laying foundations that will support future growth. And I see the consistency you show even when motivation fades, and I honor that because commitment matters more than excitement. And I know you sometimes fear that success will change you, making you distant, proud, or disconnected from what truly matters. And that fear is wise because success can test character more than failure. But when you walk with me, I guard your heart, reminding you that success is meant to be stewarded, not owned, and shared, not hoarded. And I want you to understand that success guided by me will never isolate you. It will deepen your love, strengthen your humility, and expand your generosity. And I know you sometimes struggle to trust that my way will truly lead you to fulfillment, because the world's way looks faster and more rewarding. But the world's rewards fade quickly, while what I build within you lasts. And I want you to hold on to this truth as we near the end, that success in my eyes is not about arriving somewhere impressive, it is about becoming someone whole, someone whose work, rest, relationships, and purpose are aligned. And I am leading you toward that wholeness patiently, faithfully, and with care, even when progress feels slow. And I want you to keep walking with me, trusting that what I am building in you now will sustain you when success comes and will steady you when challenges arise. Because true success is not just something you reach, it is something you live, day by day, with me at the center of it all.
My beloved child, as we come to the closing part of this message, I want you to pause and let your heart absorb what success truly means when it is shaped by my wisdom rather than by the world's demands. Because I know how deeply you desire to live a life that matters, a life that is stable, meaningful, and fulfilling. And I want you to understand with clarity and peace that true success is not something you chase anxiously. It is something you walk into faithfully when you walk with me. And I know there have been seasons when you felt behind, when you questioned whether your efforts were enough, when you wondered if others were surpassing you while you remained in preparation. And those moments can quietly erode confidence if you let them. But I want you to hear me clearly now. You are not behind, you are becoming. And becoming takes time, patience, and trust. And I am far more invested in who you are becoming than in how quickly you achieve visible milestones. And I know you sometimes fear that if you slow down, if you choose integrity over shortcuts, if you choose peace over pressure, you will lose your chance at success. But what is built with me cannot be stolen by speed or competition, because I am the one who establishes your steps, and what I establish is secure. And I know you sometimes carry the weight of responsibility, feeling that everything depends on your effort alone. And that weight can make success feel exhausting instead of life-giving. But I want you to remember that you were never meant to carry your future by yourself, because when you place your work in my hands, I carry the outcomes, while you carry the obedience. And obedience will always bring peace, even when outcomes are still unfolding. And I know there are moments when you doubt whether your work truly matters, especially when recognition is slow or progress feels invisible. But nothing done with a sincere heart is ever unseen by me, and I reward faithfulness in ways that last far beyond temporary applause.
And I know you sometimes worry about the cost of success, fearing that it might change you, harden you, or pull you away from what truly matters. And that concern shows wisdom, because success can test character more than failure. But when you walk with me, I guard your heart, reminding you that success is meant to be stewarded, not worshipped, and used to serve, not to define your worth. And I want you to understand that true success will never require you to abandon love, humility, or compassion, because those qualities are not obstacles to success, they are the foundation of it. And I know you sometimes struggle with impatience, especially when you sense potential within you and long to see it fulfilled. But patience learned with me does not weaken ambition, it refines it, aligning your desires with purpose so that when opportunity comes, it becomes a blessing rather than a burden. And I know there are days when fear still whispers that you are not enough, that you are not ready, that you might fail. But fear does not have authority over your life, because I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of strength, wisdom, and self-control. And I am not asking you to be fearless, I am asking you to be faithful, because faithfulness sustained over time produces a success that is steady, resilient, and fulfilling. And I know you sometimes look ahead and wonder whether the future will truly be better, whether your efforts will pay off, whether peace will come. And I want you to know that when you walk with me, the future is not something to dread, it is something to trust, because I am already there, preparing the way, shaping opportunities, and aligning circumstances in ways you cannot yet see. And I want you to release the pressure to prove yourself, because you do not need to prove your worth to me or to anyone else. Your worth was established the moment I called you mine, and success will never add to that worth, nor failure take it away. And as you move forward from this message, I want you to carry this truth with you, that true success is living in alignment with me, working diligently without anxiety, resting without guilt, and trusting without fear. And when you live this way, success becomes something that strengthens you rather than consumes you. And I am faithful to guide you into that kind of life, step by step, season by season, with patience and care. And even when the road feels long, you can trust that I am walking with you, shaping your journey, guarding your heart, and leading you into a future that is not only productive, but peaceful and meaningful. And remember this always, that success guided by me will never leave you empty, because it flows from purpose, truth, and love. And if this message touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe.